So you've probably never heard this before, because most people don't know about this, but one of the worst things you can do for your health is to wear these sunglasses. They're actually very bad for your health. And I think most of us, we instinctively put them on during the day. As soon as we leave the house, we just put on our sunglasses because, I mean, they look cool, but also it's kind of what everybody does, and it's unexamined. But I think also that there's some people who generally have a sensitivity to the sun, like their eyes can't handle the daylight and bright light, so they put them on just to protect their eyes. Now, if you're doing that, if you're in that category, you probably have some inflammation that you need to get checked out. Because you think about it, human beings, we've been living with the sun since the beginning of time. There's no reason why we need sunglasses. They've been around for, what, 100 years? We've been around for, what, 250,000 years, and all of a sudden we need to wear sunglasses? It doesn't make any sense. And I think the biggest reason is because people have been taught by their doctor or medical professionals, or like they read a blog post about how bad the sun is for our eyes. And it's kind of the same advice we get from the medical community on, having to wear suntan lotion every time you go outside, which doesn't make sense, right? I mean, I get it. Like, some people are very light-skinned, especially if you're from the Northern Hemisphere. You've got very fair skin. Like, you probably, your skin is more sensitive to the sun. But still, there's no reason why you should have to wear suntan lotion every time you go outside. Just as you should not have to wear sunglasses every time you go outside. And it turns out that the reason that sunglasses are so bad for us is because it turns out that the eye is not just for seeing, but our eyes are clocks, and they tell our body what time of the day it is, depending on the wavelength of light in the sun. So, like in the morning, the sun has a lot more infrared light in it, which is why it's kind of reddish-orange. And then as the sun gets higher in the sky, it becomes more yellow because it has more ultraviolet light. And the light in the sun dictates the type of hormones that are produced in our body. So in the morning, the infrared light produces more melatonin, dopamine, and serotonin. Now, those last two are hormones that make us feel good. Melatonin, obviously, it helps us sleep at night. So it turns out that the best way to get a good night's sleep is not to take supplements or Ambien, but to actually watch the sun in the morning. So if you're wearing sunglasses all day, it's the equivalent of putting a tarp on a plant. Plants need sunlight to produce photosynthesis so they can produce energy. And we don't use photosynthesis to produce energy, but we use mostly food a lot, but also the sun. And it's an aspect of biology and health that most people don't understand because it's not really taught in school. But it turns out that it's crucial. And what you're doing when you wear sunglasses all the time is that you're putting a tarp over your body. It's the same way you would on a plant. And eventually, if you do that with a plant, the plant's going to die. So, I would say it's one of those things that's kind of like most people don't know about. But I would say, try to avoid them if you can. And if you do wear them a lot, I would say, like, a good rule of thumb is only wear them when you go to the beach. Don't wear them every day. And I can attest to this because I've almost never worn sunglasses. It's not a thing I do, but ever since moving, I live in New Orleans now. I'm originally from the DC area, but ever since I moved down here, one of the things that I've done is waking up earlier and sun gazing between the hours of 6:30 to 7. And that has done an amazing amount for my health. I can't tell you how much. I would say also, like, if you're feeling, like sick or tired, one of the best things you can do is to move down to below the 20th latitude, which is like Louisiana, Florida. So basically the Gulf Coast. you know. And that's where you're going to feel optimal because, you know, it turns out that the sun is crucial for feeling good and for good health. So I hope you found value in this. You know, this is like information people don't really know about. And I'm going to be providing more of this kind of information on this channel. So again, this is Evolution Hacks, and hope you enjoyed it.